We are suffering a crisis in the West, the decline of our country. We see this moral decay happening in our country. Everyone wants to know why, in order to be able to stop it.
My current book is titled Suicidal Empathy. One of my previous books was titled The Parasitic Mind. And these two books are really the 1-2 punch to explain what has happened to the West. The Parasitic Mind deals with what happens to people when they are captured by these parasitic ideas that cause them to not be able to think anymore. Suicidal Empathy completes that story by then demonstrating what happens when our emotions are hijacked. Put those two together and we're jumping off the abyss of infinite lunacy.
How does the emotional capture happen to the extent that we see, where literal right and wrong have become inverse in the minds of a very large minority, if not almost half of our country?
Cultural relativism. And the reason why it's a parasitic idea is because it renders us impotent to make value judgments about other cultures. Because cultural relativism says, who are you to judge the religious or cultural practices of another society? That's a form of cultural imperialism. So if another society chooses to cut off the clitorises of 5-year-old girls, shut up, racist. If another society wants to engage in honor killings, shut up, racist. If another society wants to have child brides who are 9 years old, shut up, racist. Well, if I internalize that parasitic idea, then it renders me impotent. If I am to make judgments about immigration policies, then it seems like it is mean-spirited and lacking in empathy for me to say that I would prefer to have Danish people coming to the United States more so than people from Waziristan, because, you know, all immigrants are equally lovely and equally likely to assimilate. So the parasitic idea is the one that then led me to swim in the infinity pool of suicidal empathy.
So it's not necessarily separate indoctrination. It's not like indoctrination on the intellectual ideas and then a capture of the emotions. One just follows the other.
Exactly right. So for example, transgender activism first begins as a parasitic idea stemming, frankly, from postmodernism, which says that there are absolutely no objective truths. Every single phenomenon is shackled by relativism. And therefore, there is no absolute truth to biological sex. So if biological sex is up for debate and up for grabs, well, then that makes it easy for me to become suicidally empathetic when 6'4" Bubba with a 9-inch penis, who yesterday used to play for the University of Alabama, decides that he's called Linda today. It's perfectly kind and empathetic for her to share the showers with my teenage daughter. One leads to the other.